Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Michael Gobadi. Here are our top stories. Tinubu grants posthumous pardon to Herbert Macaulay, Mamman Vasa, 173 others. Defection won't break us, PDP tells the APC. NDLEA denies approving cannabis oil export. And on the foreign scene, Hamas says U.S. is guaranteeing the permanent end to the Gaza war. And on sports, Eagles' eye redemption as World Cup race heats up. Now to the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has granted presidential pardon to 175 persons, including Nigerian nationalist icon Herbert Macaulay and former FCT Minister Major General Mamman Vasa retired. The approval came after the Council of State meeting held on Thursday at the State House in Abuja, where the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi SAN, presented the report of the Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy. Now, according to the sources at the meeting, members of the Ogoni 9 and Ogoni 4 were also listed among the beneficiaries. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State briefed State House correspondent after the meeting, confirming that 82 inmates received full pardon, 65 had their sentence reduced, and 7 death sentences were commuted to life imprisonment. The decision, is said, reflects President Tinubu's commitment to justice and correctional reform. Herbert Macaulay, often called the father of Nigerian nationalism, was convicted by colonial authorities in the early 1900s, while Major General Vasa was executed in 1986 after a controversial coup trial under General Ibrahim Babangida. The meeting also ratified key federal appointments, including Dr. Aminu Yusuf as chairman of the National Population Commission and Tungo Balarafa as federal commissioner representing Yobe State in the commission. The federal government has officially endorsed Dr. Tahid Olufemi Alas as Nigerian candidate for election to the International Court of Justice. At a media briefing in Abuja, Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga urged the international community to rally behind Dr. Elas ahead of the election slated for November 12, 2025. Tuga highlighted that no ECOWAS member state has held a seat on the ICJ brief bench since 2011, stressing the need for fair representation and stronger West African participation in the global judicial system. He described the doctor as an eminent jurist of integrity and vast international law expertise, adding that his election will amplify African voice in the promotion of global justice and equity. Dr. Tahid, in his response, expressed confidence in his candidacy and pledged to serve with dedication, impartiality, and fairness if elected. The Foreign Affairs Minister reaffirms Nigerian commitment to supporting competent nationals for key international positions to strengthen the country's global influence. Away from that, the People's Democratic Party says it remains strong, united, and focused despite reports of planned defection by some of its governors to the ruling All Progressives Congress. Speaking at an interactive session with journalists in Abuja, PDP National Publicity Secretary and Secretary of the Media and Publicity Subcommittee for the Party 2025 National Convention, Dabo Olugunaba, dismissed the defection rumor as an orchestrated distraction engineered by the APC. He stated that the PDP foundation is rooted in the people, not personal ambition, noting that the attention generated by such reports only underscores the growing national interest in the party ahead of its convention. He maintained that the PDP has survived more turbulent periods in the past and continues to stand firm because of its institutional strength and democratic ideals. Ologunaba reminded Nigerians that even former presidents and vice presidents have left the party in the past, yet the PDP endured. Proof, he said, that the party is an institution built on values and not personalities. The Nigerian Senate has given the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, the Comptroller General of the Federation, Sasudin Ogunjimi, and the Director General of the Budget Office, Taminu Yakubu, 2 weeks to submit a comprehensive performance report on the 2024 national budget. The directive came after a closed-door section between the Senate Committee on Finance and the top officials in Abuja on Thursday. Committee Chairman Senator Mohammed Sani Musa said the report must also include capital projections for the 2025 budget before lawmakers can consider the midterm expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper for the 2026 to 2029. Analysts said the move could delay President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presentation of the 2026 fiscal proposal to the National Assembly. The MTEF/FSP served as a financial roadmap guiding Nigeria's annual budget, outlining microeconomic assumptions, revenue expectation, and spending priorities. By law, the document must be approved by the National Assembly before the next budget can be presented. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news across Nigeria, as well as business, foreign, and sport news.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures. Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make her a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has debunked reports suggesting that it endorsed the export of cannabis oil from Nigeria. The NDLEA says comments made by its chairman and chief executive, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, at a workshop organized by the Nigerian Academy of Science in Abuja were merely personal opinions, not the official policy of the federal government. The event themed Cannabis Oil Debate, the path forward for Nigeria, brought together stakeholders to discuss the economic and regulatory implication of cannabis oil production and also exports. Now, in a statement, NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi clarified that Marwa's remarks were among various perspectives shared during the section and should not be interpreted as government approval for cannabis oil exports. He emphasized that the agency remains guided by existing laws that prohibit local cannabis use, adding that the NDLEA awaits the final report from the Nigerian Academy of Science before any national policy direction is taken. Babafemi noted that only federal government has the authority to make such a policy decision after due consultation with relevant stakeholders. The NDLEA says the clarification became necessary to prevent misrepresentation of its position on the controversial issue of cannabis oil exports. The Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers is set to host its 2025 annual State Brokers Conference in Abuja with a strong focus on youth empowerment, digital innovation, and sustainable growth in Nigeria's capital market. The two-day event, scheduled for October 16 to 17 at the Los Angeles Event Center, is themed Capital Markets in a Digital, Ethical, and Sustainable Era, Charting Pathways for Economic Transformation, the CIS Conference. The committee chairman, Sahid Bashir, said the decisions or discussion will center on innovation, ethical governance, and inclusive finance, key drivers of the national transformation as Nigeria aims to build a $1 trillion economy. He noted that the capital market must lead the charge in digital evolution and sustainability to ensure long-term reliance. First Vice President Fiona Ahime stressed that the Institute remains committed to attracting young Nigerians into the financial ecosystem through tech-driven education and inclusion. Young people are digital first and eager for opportunity. We must meet them where they are with credible, innovative investment options, she said. Now, the event will feature keynote sessions, technical panels, and networking activities, including a capital market career fair for schools, a regulatory engagement visit to the central bank, and a focus section on fintech. The ESG and compliance Widely recognized as Nigerian premier capital market gathering, the CIS annual conference continued to serve as a platform for shaping policy, promoting investment literacy, and driving collaboration across stockbroking, asset management, insurance, and fintech sectors. Away from that, now to the foreign scene. In what could mark a historic turning point in the Middle East conflict, Hamas said it has received firm guarantee from the United States and mediators that the first phase of the new ceasefire deal with Israel represents a permanent end to the Gaza war. Speaking Thursday, Khalid al-Yahya, head of Hamas negotiating team, confirmed that the assurance were given by the United States administration and regional mediators following the signing of the first phase of the peace framework proposed by the U.S. President Donald Trump under the agreement. Hamas is to release 20 hostages within 72 hours after the truce begins, while Israel will free 250 long-term Palestine prisoners and another 1,700 detainees arrested since the war began on October 7, 2023. However, Israel and Hamas has yet to finalize all points of the 20-step plan, particularly issues around Gaza long-term governance and security control. Despite the ceasefire announcement, report says Israeli airstrikes hit a residential building in central Gaza City less than an hour ago, raising concerns over the truce implication and implementation. President Trump announced that hostage release could begin early next week and hinted at plans to visit the region to commemorate what he called a new chapter for peace. Israel's Security Cabinet is expected to vote on the agreement later tonight. If confirmed, the deal could mark the first major breakthrough in ending nearly 2 years of devastating conflict and could set the stage for a new democratic order in the region. Veteran British hip-hop DJ Tim Westwood has been charged with multiple counts of rape and sexual assault spanning over 3 decades. According to London's Metropolitan Police, the 68-year-old former presenter faces 4 charges of rape, 9 charges of indecent assault, and 2 counts of sexual assault, including 7 women between 1983 and 2016. Among the allegations are claims that Westwood indecently assaulted a 17-year-old girl in 1983, raped a woman aged 17 to 18 between 1995 and 1996, and another woman in her 20s in 2010. Most of the alleged incidents reported occurred in London. Detectives, Superintendent Andy Forfield said investigation remained ongoing and urged anyone with information to come forward. Westwood, who has denied similar allegations made in 2022, is expected to appear at the Westminster Magistrates Court on November 11th. Earlier this year, reports were admitted it fell short and failed people after a review uncovered evidence of Westwood bullying and misogynic behavior during his time as the broadcaster from 1994 to 2013. The case adds to a growing list of sexual misconduct scandals involving high-profile BBC figures as UK authorities continue to probe allegations within the entertainment industry. Away from that, now to sports. In sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will resume their World Cup qualification journey today, facing Lesotho in a must-win clash at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in South Africa. Nigeria qualification hopes have been reignited after FIFA docked South African points for feeding an ineligible player, a ruling that has reshaped the Group C standing and gave the Eagles a vital lifeline. Star striker Victor Osimhen is expected to play a key role, while captain William Troost-Ekong says the squad is optimistic and ready to fight till the end. Lesotho, who held Nigeria to a 1-1 draw in a revised fixture, will be aiming to cause another upset tonight. With 2 games remaining, Nigeria now sits at just 3 points behind group leaders Benin Republic and also South Africa. Players like Wilfred Ndidi, Kevin Bassey say the team remains calm, focused, and determined to keep their World Cup dream alive. Kickoff is about 6 p.m. Nigerian time as the Eagles look to soar back into contention for a place at the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Still talking sports, British-Nigerian heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua has reportedly agreed to a 2026 bout with touring Russian fighter Mukodov. According to Boxing News, Mukodov revealed that he reached out to Joshua on Instagram, offering him herself as the next opponent, and the former two-time world champion accepted the challenge. Joshua is also being lined up for a comeback fight in Nigeria early next year following his defeat to Daniel Dubes at Wembley Stadium. Meanwhile, Congolese heavyweight Martin Bankole has also expressed interest in facing the British star. The Russian, who stands at 6 feet 8 inches, described the exchange as friendly but competitive, saying the fight interests him due to their shared history from the amateur circuit. If confirmed, the clash between Joshua and the Russian could be one of the most anticipated heavyweight battles of 2026. And that wraps up the news today on the show. And I'll tell you, we'll always insist that if you have any news that seems to be worthy, please send it to our different social media platforms, and we'll be more than happy to have it. But for me, Michael Gobadia, God bless you. Have a great day.